NBA 2K27 is officially here, and for my first video, we're going to be rebuilding the Los Angeles Lakers in NBA 2K27, and this layout already is looking a lot better than it did last year, which I'm very excited for. And now let's jump in and take a look at player overalls. It says that LeBron James plans to retire and is eligible for a farewell tour, so let's go ahead and give him that farewell tour. I'm not sure if this is going to be his last year, but if it is, I would much rather him have a farewell tour than not. And now, let's take a look at our player stats here, player overalls. Luka Doncic, 96 overall, I love that. 88 for Austin Reeves. Walker Kessler at an 81 overall. I think that could have been a little bit higher. I mean, last season, even though he didn't play all that many games, bro was a savage. 14 points, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, and he was one of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA. And honestly, a 79 overall for Colin Sexton, maybe a little too low. 80 overall or 81 would make more sense for him, but as long as he's out there putting up these numbers with this efficiency, I'll be more than happy on having him on our team. And now let's take a look at the rest of the layout. So this looks a bit different than last year. If I'm not mistaken, the text are smaller, and I like that. Change is needed, and we finally get change from last year's 2K. I'm loving the way everything here is looking. I do want to hear your guys' thoughts below. Comment down whether you like this new 2K layout or not. I personally am a big fan. I hope you guys are as well. And now let's go ahead and take a look at our team's rotation, but before that, I do want to let you all know I will be giving away a copy of NBA 2K27 to one of you on September 4th, and all you have to do to enter is subscribe and turn on post notifications to my channel. Good luck to you all, and now let's go ahead and take a look at our rotation. So in our starting lineup, we have ourselves Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Quentin Grimes, Jared Vanderbilt, and Walker Kessler. And then off the bench, we have Colin Sexton, Mamu, Jake LaRavia, and Matisse Thybulle. Just by taking one quick glance at our roster, I'm not going to allow Jared Vanderbilt to be our starting power forward for the foreseeable future. Maybe a few weeks, maybe even a month or two, but he's definitely going to get traded for a better power forward. That's a position we're going to have to upgrade instantly. And this layout does look a bit different than last year, I'm not going to lie, and I personally do like it. Everything I've seen so far, I've been a big fan of. I haven't seen much. Again, I'm seeing whatever you guys are seeing for the first time. But so far, there's nothing I can complain about. I'm a big fan of everything so far, and hopefully that's how it continues going. Usually in my NBA, 2K does not really make any changes, but this year, I feel like they did a great job at changing basically everything. Like the entire layout looks different. Before, there would be majority of the things kept the same, but this year, I would say majority of the things look different in a good way. Here are the player overalls. Nikola Jokic is currently the highest overall in NBA 2K27 at a 97 overall. Right behind him is Wemby, then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jalen Brunson, and then Luka Doncic. But now let's get back to the rebuild and see if we can win the Lakers a championship. The first game is up against the Golden State Warriors, and this layout screen here has changed a lot since last year as well. I love it. 2K literally changed everything in my NBA, which I'm a massive fan of. Simulate the first game against the Warriors, and we end up... Whoa, this sim speed is very slow, but we end up losing 103 to 91. That's okay, it's the first game. And Reeves had himself 18 points, 16 Doncic, and 13 Sexton. Something we forgot to completely change right now is the player shot tendency. Like, Austin Reeves should not be at a 60 overall. That's something 2K definitely should change. 60 overall for Austin Reeves makes absolutely no sense. We're going to go ahead and raise that up to a 95. We'll raise up Walker Kessler to about 65, I think should be fine. Colin Sexton at 80 is good. He could come off the bench unit and provide our team with scoring. But Quentin Grimes, we definitely got to pick that up. We need him averaging 10 to 15 points per game. Mamu, we need him scoring more. Jared Vanderbilt, we don't really need scoring. He's not really the best scorer whatsoever. Jake LaRavia will lower a little bit. And then Matisse Thybulle, we will raise to a 50. I would also like to change Matisse Thybulle's position from shooting guard to small forward, where he jumps up to a 76 overall. But now let's go ahead and simulate the next 2 games and see how our team does. The next game is up against the Clippers and then the Utah Jazz. And I'm not gonna lie, this speed has been very slow. The sim speed is very slow right now, but we do want to defeat the Clippers and the Utah Jazz against the Clippers here. Reeves had himself 19 points, LaRavia with 19, Luka with only 16 points. I'm not sure why he barely shot the ball. But then let's take a look at the Utah Jazz. Whoa, so I can't go back here. When I press left, it doesn't go left. So we automatically manually have to go to October 25th. In this game, Luka had himself 32, 17 from Reeves, and 16 from Grimes. So far, the only complaint I would have is the sim speed. I am on PC, so it should be a lot faster. Maybe it's just slow because it was the first week, and this is the first time I'm playing this game. I don't know. But let's take a look at system proficiency. Our team is rolling on a 4-star overall system proficiency, pace and space under our head coach JJ Redick. And now I'm going to go ahead and simulate until the trade deadline. Probably going to stop before the trade deadline and make some trades. We'll sim until January 1st, see how our team's doing, and if there's any trades to be made, I'll be stopping here to show you all. I do believe I fixed the simulation speed a little bit better than it was before. Before it was going way too slow. I went into my settings, changed a few things. It's still going pretty slow, but it's definitely faster than it was before. Before it was like in slow motion turtle mode, but now thankfully it's simming a little bit faster than before. I do have a massive question. How is Luka Doncic only averaging 22 points per game? We have his shot tendency all the way up to a 99, but he's basically averaging the same amount of points per game as Austin Reeves. I'm not sure why that's the case, but I did make it here all the way to the trade deadline. I did forget to stop on January 1st. I was so focused on trying to fix the simulator speed. It took a while, and hopefully I do think it fixed a little bit. I changed up some settings, but now let's go out there and get ourselves a new starting power forward. Finding a power forward in the league has been a lot more difficult than I had thought, and another change 2K did make is, as you guys can see, there's a lot of slots here. Back in the days, or at least in the last 2K, I believe there only used to be a total of 6 slots, so now we could give up a lot of first round picks if we need to. But sadly, our team doesn't have many first round picks, so we are going to be targeting Tijan Salon of the Hornets. He's an amazing 3-point shooter. I believe he has a B+ 3-point shot. He's a decent defender. Let's try and acquire him here from the Hornets. Of course, they declined. We do have some swap worse picks here. 1 pick does not get it done, and 2 picks lands us Tijan Salon as our team's brand new starting power forward. Another player we should probably be thinking about trading away right now is Quentin Grimes. He's been playing awful for us. 38% from the field, 29% from the 3-point line. And currently our team does need a backup center, so I'm going to try and see what we can get back in return for Quentin Grimes. We are going to be trading him away. I mean, we're paying him $14 million, and if this is how he's going to be shooting the ball, we definitely don't need him on our team, and that's not going to help us win a championship. So I'm going to see what backup center we can get, and I'll show you guys once I come up with a trade. Whoa, we could acquire ourselves Peyton Watson if we want to. I don't know how Peyton Watson's only a 79 overall after the season he had last year, but that's honestly a big... I'm not a big fan of that. 79 overall for Peyton Watson should not be the case. He should definitely be a lot higher. I would have loved to get Draymond Green, but let me show you guys why I'm not about to make this trade happen. His efficiency is awful. They have bro shooting 29% from the field and 17% from the 3. Sure, Draymond Green's not the best offensive player, but he's not out there shooting 29% from the field, that's for sure. So what we're going to be doing is trading for Robert Williams III. Amazing backup center, could come off the bench unit, provide us with rebounding, defense, and he can score when we need him to as well. So we're going to be sending the Blazers Quentin Grimes and Williams. In return, we bring in Robert Williams III as our team's brand new backup center. Right now, the CPU has us running Jake LaRavia as a starting small forward. That's possibly a position we could upgrade. I mean, Jake LaRavia's not playing that bad. He's shooting 46% from the field. He's not shooting the 3-pointer very well, but the field goal percentage is amazing. Matisse Thybulle, on the other hand, has been playing pretty awful. 20% from the 3-point line, 35% from the field. So if there are any more trades that could still make happen, I'll show you all. Otherwise, I'll see you guys either contract extension or at the end of this season. We're about to make a pretty big trade here with the Houston Rockets, and I would say a massive trade. Somehow they're ready to send us Reed Sheppard for Colin Sexton and Matisse Thybulle. The reason we're going to be trading away Colin Sexton is, as good as he's been playing, he's an expiring contract, probably won't re-sign with our team this offseason, whereas Reed Sheppard does have a team option, and after that we'll have bird rights, so we'll be able to re-sign him, plus he's a young player with a lot of potential. So let's go ahead and pull off this trade here with the Houston Rockets, acquiring ourselves Reed Sheppard as our brand new 6th man. At this point, I would rather have anyone over Jared Vanderbilt. He doesn't hit the 3-pointer and he's only shooting 32% from the field. So we're going to be trading him away to the Sacramento Kings, where we bring in Precious Achiuwa. For 36 minutes, his numbers are amazing. He's a good rebounder. He can score when we need him to. Plus, he's a good defender as well. Sure, he's not a good 3-point shooter, but at least he's shooting 53% from the field, unlike Jared Vanderbilt. So let's go ahead and pull off the last trade of this season. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win his first ever MVP. He was only shooting 46% from the field and 30% from 3. That is something I noticed. A lot of players in this sim, efficiency is horrible. I'm not sure why that's the case. Hopefully it gets fixed up soon, but that is something I did notice. Cam Boozer, as you guys can see, he's only shooting 40% from the field, but he does go on to win Rookie of the Year. 6th Man of the Year goes to Jalen Green. Wemby Defensive Player, Reese Shea Most Improved. And he was only shooting 39% from the field, 29% from 3. Jokic goes on to win Clutch Player of the Year. 49% from the field. That's not something I think he's ever done in his career. He's never shot below 50% up until now. So that's something that hopefully gets fixed. But Mitch Johnson, Coach of the Year, and we go on to win Executive of the Year. Let's go. And now let's go ahead and take a look at all NBA selections. We do land ourselves Luka Doncic on an all NBA second team. And we also get Austin Reeves on an all-NBA third team. I do believe this is the first time Reeves has made an all-NBA team, and it is. So in 2027, Reeves makes his first ever all-NBA team. And there's the GOAT, Stephen Curry, making it on an all-NBA third team as well. How was his efficiency? So his efficiency was pretty realistic to how it is in real life. 47% from the field and 40% from the three-point line, 90% free throw. And now on an all-defensive team, I don't think we're going to have any player here. Actually, we do get ourselves Walker Kessler. A player I completely forgot about is an elite defender. We do land Walker Kessler on an all-defensive second team. And we ended this season as the number 2 seed. Okay, so we did a lot better after the trade deadline. We ended up as a number 2 seed with 60 wins and 22 losses. So far, there's nothing really I could complain about other than the sim speed, but hopefully there is a way I'm able to fix that before the next video. But that is something that has kind of been a struggle through so far here. It takes a lot longer to simulate. That's just going to mean my videos are going to take a lot longer to make. But honestly, I'm okay with that. As long as you guys stay to watch, I'll continue putting in the time. Here are the player stats for our team. So Luka Doncic was a leading scorer, averaging 23 points. 22 from Austin Reeves, 13 Reed Shepard, 13 Walker Kessler, and 11 from Tijon Salon. And now it is time for the NBA playoffs. This basically looks the same as last year, except it doesn't say 0-0, which does look pretty cool because no team has played a game yet, which is why it's showing that. But in the first round, we are taking on the Phoenix Suns. And they've got themselves Colin Gillespie, same lineup, Colin Gillespie, Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks, Miles Bridges, and Mark Williams, with Jalen Green as their 6th man. Let me fix up the player minutes here, and then we'll see if we're able to get past the first round. And honestly, since we acquired Tijon Salon, his 3-point percentage has gone down like crazy. Another player who wasn't shooting well was Austin Reeves, even though in real life he's a good 3-point shooter. In 2K, he's only shooting 31% from 3. I'm not sure why that's the case. Again, that's a little annoying. I mean, the players aren't shooting the ball all that well, but I guess it's kind of realistic. Some players do struggle. They do have struggle seasons where they're not able to hit them 3-pointers, or struggle phases where they're not able to hit them 3-pointers. But for the playoffs, we are going to start Precious Achiuwa. Bro has been playing amazing for our team. His efficiency is great, his rebounding is great. The lob threat from Luka to Precious Achiuwa, but the floor spacing will become an issue. So actually, let's switch that back to Tijon Salon. Alrighty, now it's time for the NBA playoffs against the Phoenix Suns. Let's see how this goes. Game number 1, we do end up losing. 114-97, we fall short. Luka nowhere to be seen. He did struggle offensively, only 5 of 14 from the field, and Reeves struggling big time as well, 6 of 16. We need our big players, our star players, to step it up here. Game number 2, we do bounce right back. Luka with 37 points, and there we go. This is what we need from our duo. 37 Luka, 31 and 12 from Reeves, and 19 from Reed Shepard. I'm glad we traded for Shepard. He's been amazing for our team off the bench unit. Game number 3, we do end up losing 104-96 here. Sadly, we fall short, 21 Luka and 19 Reeves. That will put us down 2-1 against the Phoenix Suns. They are a playing team, keep that in mind, but they're still a very good team. Don't get that twisted. So now we top the series 2-2 apiece, 123-112. We end up winning. Austin Reeves with 33 points, 25-11 from Luka, and 20 from Reed Shepard. Game number 5, we also end up winning, and we eliminate the Phoenix Suns. That's what I'm talking about. 121-180. We defeated them by 40 points. So Luka's been giving belt to Devin Booker since the Dallas days. First, I believe he eliminated Booker back by 40-50 points, and now we eliminate him by 40 points. 31 Reeves, 29 Luka, and 15 from Shepard. And now in the second round of the playoffs, we are taking on the Portland Trailblazers. They've got themselves Damian Lillard, Ja Morant. I don't know how they're going to run this backcourt. This is going to be very weird. Damian Lillard and Ja Morant are very undersized guards, and having them in your backcourt, how is that really going to work? Neither of them are good defenders. You're going to have to surround them around amazing defenders at all times. But they have themselves Lillard, Ja Morant, Denny Avdia, Kamara, and Donovan Clingan, and this here is their bench unit. A pretty stacked team. They do have Quentin Grimes. Did we trade Quentin Grimes here? Yes, we did, for Robert Williams. But let's get to simulating here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Reeves with 28, Luka with 23, and so far here in the playoffs, Luka is averaging 25 and 9. Reeves is averaging 29 points, and his efficiency has been amazing. 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. Game number 2, we do end up losing. Game 3, we end up winning. Game 4, we also end up winning. 137 to 124. We end up winning this game where Luka had himself a 40-point double-double, Reeves with a 28-point double-double, and Shepard with 18. All we have to do is win one more game for us to make the conference finals. Can we defeat the Blazers here? Let's jump into Simcast, where we do have home court advantage. And so far, the Blazers do have the lead, and it looks like we are going to be getting blown out here. Whoa, 106 to 86. We just lost by 30 points or 20 points. Reeves had 22, 15 Luka. Luka struggled big time, and so did Tijon Salon. He's been struggling from that three-pointer. We need to step it up here for this next game. The Blazers do have home court advantage, and we start off the first half pretty strong, and it looks like we're going to be winning this unless somehow they come back, which they won't, and we win 101 to 90. Luka with 29, 23 Reeves, and 20 rebounds from Walker Kessler. Let's go. And now our team has made the conference finals. We're either going to have to take on the Spurs or the Mavericks. Both teams are going to be difficult, but I would rather have the Mavericks over the Spurs. I would say the Spurs team is very elite. So let's see what happens here, and it will be, of course, the one-seeded San Antonio Spurs. In the regular season, they won 67 games and lost only 15. This is going to be our toughest challenge yet. In their starting lineup, they have Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Tobias Harris, and Victor Wembanyama, with De'Aaron Fox as their sixth man. Let's get straight to it, see what happens here. Game number 1, we do end up losing 128 to 110. We fall short. Luka played good, so did Reeves, but that was not enough. Game 2, we also end up losing, and I think we're about to get swept here. Thankfully, it's not going to be a sweep. We do end up winning Game 3, where Reeves had 30 points, 29 from Luka, and 15 from Shepard. Can we tie it up here? And no, we cannot. They go up 3-1 on us. Their defense has been elite. They held us to 83 points. In game number 5, we get eliminated. So it seems like the Spurs do eliminate us here in game 5, but that's okay. Clearly our team is not a championship team, so don't you worry. This offseason, I'm going to make sure to pull off some big trades and bring in some big talent. We're definitely going to have to bring in some better talent on our team in order for us to be a championship contender next year. But let's go ahead and simulate the NBA Finals and see what happens. Wemby goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP. Cade Cunningham, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And it looks like the Spurs go on to win in Game 7 with Victor Wembanyama winning Finals MVP. Before we do go in the offseason, I want to take a look at player stats to see which players we should be trading this offseason and which players we should be keeping. So in the playoffs, we played 17 games. Reeves was absolutely amazing. He was averaging more points per game than Luka Doncic. 26 in his .6, 25.5 from Luka, 11 from Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler has been a disappointment. 48% from the field. How are you 7'2" shooting 48% from the field? I don't know, but that's possibly a player we could trade this offseason after signing that massive contract. We may have to flip him. 11 points per game from Reed Shepard. He was shooting the three-pointer very well. His field goal percentage did dip from the regular season, but we definitely need some better offensive players here around Austin Reeves and Luka, because right now we only have 4 players in double-digit scoring. Alrighty, we're here in the offseason, and this screen layout did change a little bit from last year. Not much, but a tiny bit changed to it, and now we're going to see if there's more trades we could pull off. We have some big contracts we could get rid of. Walker Kessler's $31 million salary and the $14 million salary for Robert Williams. So let me go out there and see which trades we can make happen, and I'll show you guys once I come up with those decisions. You know how I told y'all the player shot efficiencies have been horrible so far here in 2K? Like, look at Trey Murphy. They have him averaging 13 points per game, shooting 39% from the field and only 30% from 3. Like, there's no way Trey Murphy's going to be out there shooting this horrible from 3. He's been an amazing three-point shooter his entire career. Now he's shooting 30%. That makes no sense. I'm not a big fan of that whatsoever, but we are going to try and pull off this trade here with the Atlanta Hawks. Okongwu's efficiency has been a lot better than Walker Kessler's. He's hitting them three-pointers, and in real life, trust me, I would have Walker Kessler over Okongwu any day of the week, but in 2K, that's not the case. Now in 2K27, a lot has changed. Player shot efficiencies have changed, and Okongwu would, in my opinion, be the better player for our team. So we're going to make this trade, and above all that, we also get ourselves Nickeil Alexander-Walker. How did I forget to mention that? We get Nickeil Alexander-Walker paired up with Reeves and Luka. So we're going to be sending the Hawks Walker Kessler Robert Williams III, and Cam Carr. In return, we bring in Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Onyeka Okongwu. And I do want to say sorry if there's times that I am struggling. This is a completely new game. Last year's game, I knew everything about it, but this game I know absolutely nothing. Like, I do know the main priorities, but there's a lot of stuff that's changed here, which is why I have been struggling probably a lot more than I usually do, so sorry about that in advance. Our team does not have any draft capital in the 2027 offseason, so let's get straight to team player options and see what we got to do here for our team. Reed Shepherd, why would we decline the team player option? Of course, we're going to pick it up for Reed Shepherd. I'll also pick it up for Dalton Connect in case we want to trade him this offseason to Tijon Salon, Bronny James Jr., and we'll let this dude here walk. We don't really need a 70 overall, so we're not going to be re-signing him. Qualifying offers, I don't think we have to re-sign anyone, and whoa, free agency has changed a lot. We are in need of a new starting small forward, and honestly, I don't know if I'm a big fan of this free agency. I don't like the way these players are mapped out here. Like, before, it used to be a lot more simpler, but this just makes it a lot more complicated. We are able to get Michael Porter Jr., but I feel like for our small forward position, we need a good defensive player. We don't really have many good defenders, so that's a priority, and sadly, we're not able to sign ourselves Osar Thompson. But a player I saw that we could try and acquire is Josh Hart. He's a great defensive player. He could do everything we need him to, so let's go ahead and offer him a 4-year contract, paying him about $12.5 million annually. Will he accept? And yes, he will. So we land ourselves Josh Hart on a 4-year, $53 million contract. I don't know how we have the money for him, but we do. And what's so amazing is we bring him back to the same team that drafted him, and now he's going to be here for the next 4 seasons unless we trade him away. He is listed at power forward, but I know if we change Josh Hart's position from power forward to small forward, he jumps up in overall like crazy. We are also in need of a backup center, so let's see which player we should try here and acquire. Isaiah Stewart's on the board. He only wants a minimum. Let's go ahead and offer him a 1-year deal, or actually let's make that a 2-year minimum. I'm also going to try and bring back Jackson Hayes to the Lakers. He's been a Lakers legend. Amazing vibes he brings to the team, and his field goal percentage has always been amazing. I'm going to go ahead and offer him a 2-year minimum, and hopefully both players accept, so it seems like they will. We get ourselves Josh Hart, Isaiah Stewart, and Jackson Hayes. Okay, so now it all goes back to normal. That actually only happens for the first 3 days, but once the 3 days pass, it all goes back to normal, as you guys can see here. So that was kind of confusing. I was at first not liking the way that was looking, but now it's back to normal how it should be, which is absolutely amazing. At first, that was very confusing, and I was not a big fan of that, but if it's only for the first 3 days, that's not bad at all. I do want to show you guys a little cheat code. Remember when I said if we change Josh Hart's position to small forward, he jumps up? Watch this. Right now, he's only an 82 overall. We move him to small forward, and he jumps up to an 85 overall. We could possibly do the same here with Nickeil Alexander-Walker, move him to small forward, and he goes up to an 84 overall. So now we got some big overall players on this team. And the reason I love having Okongwu on our team is he's going to give our team a lot of advantages on our team's offense. He's a good 3-point shooter, and he can drive and slam that ball when we need him to as well. So with Luka, he could do the pick and roll, but he could also do the pick and pop, hit them 3-pointers when he's left open when Luka gets double teamed. Alrighty, here we are at the start of this season with our new and upgraded rotation. So in our starting lineup, we have ourselves Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Josh Hart, and Okongwu. At first, I was planning on running Josh Hart at small forward and Nickeil Alexander-Walker off the bench, but then I thought, why not run both of these players in our starting lineup? Now we have ourselves a very elite starting 5 with Luka, Reeves, Josh Hart, and Okongwu. Then off the bench, we have Reed Shepherd, Jackson Hayes, Tijon Salon, and Dalton Connect running a 9-man rotation. Let's go ahead and simulate the first 2 weeks of the season to see how our team does. How many games could we win here? In the first week, we start off pretty decent, but I mean, we are right now the number 4 seed with 4 wins and 3 losses. I guess chemistry still does need to be built. Right now, it's only at 59%. And starting out this season, our system proficiency has gotten better than last year. We're rolling on a 4.5-star overall system proficiency, pace and space under our head coach, JJ Redick. And now I'm going to go ahead and simulate until the end of this season, but if there are any trades to be made, I'll be stopping here at the trade deadline to show you all. And this year, our team has made the NBA Cup Finals, and we are taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Somehow the Milwaukee Bucks ended up with Giannis Antetokounmpo, so he left them, joined the Heat, but in free agency re-signed with the Bucks. That makes absolutely no sense. Maybe that was the plan all along for Giannis to get some help, and come back to the Milwaukee Bucks. That would be the finesse of the century if that's what he actually did. But let's jump into Simcast here and see what happens. We do have home court advantage on our side, but so far the Bucks do have the lead, and it looks like, whoa, we come back and we still end up losing by 1 single point. We were so close to coming back in that game, but sadly we do end up losing by 1 point. Luka played amazing, so did Reeves, but we do end up losing. Giannis goes on to win NBA Cup MVP. We're stopped here at the trade deadline, and as much as I would love to keep Austin Reeves, his 3-point percentage has been awful this entire video. First 31% from the 3-point line, and now 33%, whereas Brandon Miller is a better defender. He's averaging more points per game, better rebounder, and he's shooting 37% from the 3-point line. So this is a trade we're going to make happen with the Hornets, sending them Austin Reeves and Precious Achiuwa for Brandon Miller to be our team's brand new second option. As you guys can see here, the 3-point percentage in 2K27 My NBA does seem to be a little broken. There's only a few teams shooting about 35%. Every other team is struggling from the 3-point line, and the Phoenix Suns, who are actually one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league, are only shooting 29% from 3. But at the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win another MVP, Tyrone Stokes Rookie of the Year, Zachary Risache Sixth Man, Wemby Defensive Player, Jared McCain Most Improved, Anthony Edwards Clutch Player, Mitch Johnson Coach of the Year, and we go on to win Executive of the Year. We do land ourselves Luka Doncic on an All-NBA first team, and let's take a look if we get anybody else here, and it seems like we don't. Our all-defensive team, we don't get any player here either, but that's okay. We ended the season as the number 2 seed with 57 wins and 25 losses. So we did actually win less games than we did last year in the regular season, but as long as we're able to win in the playoffs, that's really all that matters. Let's take a look at player stats before we jump into the playoffs. So our leading scorer was Luka Doncic again. He's not really averaging all that many points per game how he should be in real life. He's only averaging 23 points per game. 21 Brandon Miller, 15 Nah, 13 Shepard, 11.5 from Okongwu, and 10.5 from Josh Hart. When it comes to team stats, our team actually had the 4th best offensive rating with the 2nd best defensive rating. I was not expecting for our team to be this good defensively, but we have been amazing, and we were making about 14 3-pointers a game, and somehow that's the most 3-pointers a game. I don't know how that makes sense, but there's teams out there averaging close to 20 3-pointers a game, maybe even more. I honestly don't know. But yeah, 2K definitely needs to fix a 3-pointer in my NBA because right now it hasn't been there. Alrighty, let's jump into the playoffs here and see if we can make it further than we did last year. Last year we made it to the conference finals, so the goal this year is for us to make it to the NBA finals. In the first round, we are taking on a very tough opponent. The OKC Thunder somehow ended up as a play-in team, and sadly we have them in the first round. Of course, they have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Wallace, J-Dub, Chet, and Isaiah Hartenstein, the same lineup as the team that won a championship. Let's see what happens here. Game number 1, we do end up winning 115-96. Luka with 23, 22 Brandon Miller, and 21 from Reed Shepard. Game 2, we also going to win, Nah dropping 28, 21 Shepard, and 17 from Miller. Luka only had 15 points, but he still played amazing all around. Game number 3, and we're up 3-0 against the Thunder, 130-88. Our defense was out there, holding them to only 88 points scored. Nah had 24, 21 Luka, and 21 from B. Miller. Let's see if we're going to be able to sweep the Thunder here in Game 4. Game 4, we actually end up sweeping the OKC Thunder. 110-104, we end up winning here. Reed Shepard with 27 points, 21 Luka, and 15 from Nah. And so far here in the playoffs, Luka's averaging 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists, 18 from Brandon Miller, 21 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 7 from Josh Hart, and 12.5 from Okongwu. And 22 points per game from Reed Shepard as our 6th man. Let's go. But now in the second round of the playoffs, we've got ourselves the Golden State Warriors. They have on their team Stephen Curry, DeAnthony Melton, Bilal Coulibaly, Yaxel Lendenberg, and Paul Reed. Let's see how this series goes. Game number 1, we do end up losing 111-105. We fall short here. Curry dropped 29 points on our head. Game number 2, we also end up losing. Whoa, Curry's going out there for a championship. This is his last year, so he's going to be retiring after this, as you guys can see right there on the bottom side of the screen. But now I got to come up with a defensive coach game plan, and then we'll advance to Game 3. I did put Josh Hart on Stephen Curry, our best perimeter defender. Hopefully that makes a difference. So let's start jumping into Simcast here and see what happens. The Warriors do have home court advantage. And so far we do have the lead here. Can we keep it is a question, and yes we can. We end up winning 122 to 108. Nickeil Alexander-Walker dropping 31 points, 22-point double-double from Josh Hart, and a 14-point double-double from Luka. We still have to win another game for the series to be tied, so the first two games we had at our home court advantage and the Warriors defeated us there, so hopefully we're able to defeat them this game as well, and then we'll have got our get back defeating them where they had home court advantage. The Warriors do have home court advantage, and we start off the first half very strong, so the defensive coach game plan seems to be working. We end up winning 139 to 102. Brandon Miller with 30, 29 Luka, and 25 Reed Shepherd. I mean, the defensive coach game plan didn't really work on Curry. He still had himself 37 points, but he only played 30 minutes, thankfully for us. Let's jump into game 5 here. We do have home court advantage, and we still have the lead right now, and it looks like we are going to be winning 100 to 83. So our defense was amazing. Curry played amazing, but the rest of his team was awful. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had 31, 18 Josh Hart, and 12 from Luka Doncic. Can we also defeat them here in this next game to eliminate the Warriors? Let's see. They will have home court advantage, but so far they do have the lead, and it seems like they're going to be pushing it to game 7 because they just defeated us 117 to 102. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had 30, 26 Miller, 22 Josh Hart, and why is Luka nowhere to be seen? He only had 4 points. What is going on here with Luka? He's not scoring how he should be. That's something I did find pretty annoying here in 2K so far. Some of the players play awful for some reason. Like Luka should not be shooting 40% from the field and 32% from 3, averaging only 18 points per game. That's impossible. But now, time for game 7, jumping into Simcast. Let's see what happens here. Thankfully, we do have home court advantage on our side. And so far, we do have the lead here, and it looks like we will be winning. 113 to 89, we secure the win, and this is exactly what we need from Luka. 43, 9, and 9. 20 from Reed Shepherd, 14 Miller, and 13 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And there is our kryptonite. We're in the conference finals taking on the San Antonio Spurs, the same team that eliminated us last year in the conference finals. Let's take a look at their lineup. So now in their starting lineup, they have De'Aaron Fox over Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Michael Porter Jr., Tobias Harris, and Victor Wembanyama. And this here is their bench unit. Whoa, this team is so stacked. I don't know how we're going to beat them. Let's see what happens here in game 1. In game 1, we end up losing 125 to 107. We do fall short. Can we at least bounce back here in game 2? And yes, we can. 129 to 88. We end up winning. Luka with a 34-point triple-double. This is exactly what we need from our superstar player. And then 26 from Nah and 23 from Miller. Game number 3, we also end up winning. Brandon Miller going off for 21, 2 players with a triple-double. Luka with a 22-point triple-double, Josh Hart with a 20-point double-double. And since we haven't really had a close game, what I will be doing before this video ends is I'm definitely going to be jumping into at least one game. Hopefully we have a close game here. In game 4, we also end up losing 135 to 99. Brandon Miller had 30, 27 and 11 from Luka, 21 from Reed Shepherd. Let's see in Simcast here what happens. The Spurs do have home court advantage. This kind of seems like a close game. Let's slow this down a little bit and see if we should be able to jump in around 2 minutes remaining. 96 to 90, we have the lead. 2 minutes remaining, and we're up by about 4 points. I think it's time for us to jump in and get some gameplay. We're not going to be playing on either team, so we're going to let the CPU do its thing and watch and commentate over it and see what happens. So it seems like the ball is being inbounded by the San Antonio Spurs. 99 to 95, we have the lead. I do like the way the scoreboard looks there. It looks very nice, a lot better than last year. Luka played amazing defense there, but it looks like De'Aaron Fox was able to get that layup. Now we have Luka Doncic with the ball out to Okongwu. Let's see what we do here. Handoff to Luka, guarded by De'Aaron Fox. He is driving up with it, but Wemby was there. Open player in the corner. Let's see what Luka does. He's getting double teamed, and oh lord, 3-second violation. This sucks so badly. 3 of our key players have been fouled out. Brandon Miller's fouled out, Nickeil Alexander-Walker is fouled out, and so is Josh Hart. That really sucks. So this is the lineup we're gonna have to run with. Will Dalton Connect be good in our starting lineup? There's nothing we could really do about it. All we're gonna have to do is wait and see. Stephon Castle with the ball, guarded by Reed Shepherd. I mean, Reed Shepherd will definitely be help here. Let's see what happens. Stephon Castle with the ball out to Wemby, and Wemby with a wide open layup. What was Okongwu really doing there? Luka Doncic guarded by Dylan Harper. Can Dylan Harper guard him? It doesn't look like it, and Luka goes for the layup and makes it, putting our team up by 2 points. Luka has 27 points in 41 minutes, 101-99, 120 remaining. Stephon Castle to Wemby, guarded by Okongwu, and he goes for the midi and he makes it. Okongwu's defense is awful. Bro is not even trying to contest those shots. I don't know what he's doing, but if I knew that beforehand, we definitely would have changed some things up here. Luka for the layup and he misses. Tie game 101-101 with 101 remaining. Wemby with the three-pointer, guarded by Tijon Salon. Thankfully, he missed that three-pointer. The defense wasn't really all on him, but yeah, he did miss for thankfully enough for us. Dalton Connect goes for a horrible three-pointer when he was contested, and he misses. Harris out to Stephon Castle, guarded by Okongwu. Back to Harris. Let's see what they do here. It seems like they're going to be running a... Okay. Tobias Harris just hit a three-pointer. And now that does put the Spurs up by 3 points, 104-31. Will Luka be able to come in clutch here and get our team back in this? Let's see. Luka goes for the three-pointer and he hits it to tie up the game. 104-104, 25 seconds remaining. Let's go. The ball is being inbounded by the Spurs, 25 seconds remaining. Hopefully our defense could come in clutch here and play amazing defense and not allow their team to score. So far, our defense hasn't been the best. We do need to start closing out on those contests here, but I think Dylan Harper has the ball, 11 seconds remaining. Let's see what he does here. Seems like they're wasting the clock. Wemby with a midi, and he makes it. Where was the defense? Okongwu, I don't know what to tell you, but your defense has been awful. Okay, so now there's 4 seconds remaining. The Spurs have the lead, 106-104. We have to hit a clutch two-pointer or a three-pointer to win this game. Luka for the two-pointer, and he hits it, which means this is going to an overtime. I mean, I'm very happy it's going to overtime. Otherwise, we're about to lose that game. Let's jump into Simcast here. We'll sim until there's about 1 minute remaining, 1 to 2 minutes remaining, and see what happens. Hopefully their team does not run away with it. If a team does run away with it, hopefully it's ours. Another close game, 115-113, 44 seconds remaining. Let's jump in here and see what happens. And thankfully, we have the ball being inbounded by our team and not the Spurs. So we have the ball here. We could either waste some time or go for a clutch shot. Luka for the three-pointer, and he hits it to put our team up by 5 points. That's what I'm talking about, Luka. Let's go. Now Harper to Wemby. Wemby guarded by Jackson Hayes. He goes for the layup, and he misses. Luka with the rebound, and now they're going to start intentionally fouling, which means Luka is going to that free throw line. And the first free throw by Luka is good. And the second free throw by Luka is also good, putting our team up by 7 points, 27 seconds remaining. I highly doubt they're going to be able to come back, but this was an amazing in-game experience. I think this was one of the best experiences I've had. And okay, as soon as I'm saying all that, they just hit a three-pointer to close it out to 4 points. We're only up by 4. They definitely have a chance if they play some amazing defense on us, but they are going to start intentionally fouling. Luka Doncic going to the free throw line. And Luka Doncic with the first free throw, it will be a miss. But I mean, we're still up by 4 points. So even if he hits one of these free throws, we're going to be up by 5 points. And hopefully that will be enough to close this game out. And the second free throw is in. 15 seconds left to play here in the overtime. 121-116. We have the lead. They go for the three-pointer and they miss. Jackson Hayes with the rebound. Luka going to the free throw line, and this game is over. First free throw, Luka goes in, putting us up by about 6 points, by 6 points exactly. And the second free throw is also good, and this game is over. There's no way they could come back from this, and we end up winning 123-116. Luka had himself 45 points, 16 rebounds, and 7 assists. 25 from Reed Shepherd, 15 from Miller, and 15 from Josh Hart. And I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the most intense in-game jump-ins I've ever done. That was a very back and forth game, but thankfully we came out victorious, winning that game 123-116. Luka came in clutch, dropping 45 points in 45 minutes. And now our team has made the NBA Finals, and Luka Doncic goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging a 31-point triple-double. Cade Cunningham, Eastern Conference Finals MVP for the Detroit Pistons. And now it is time for the NBA playoffs, and we got ourselves the Detroit Pistons here. They have Cade Cunningham, Duncan Robinson, Asar Thompson, Ron Holland, and Jalen Duren. The Pistons are always a very good team in 2K, so let's see what happens here. Game number 1, thankfully, we do end up winning 35-31, 5-10 from Luka, 18 Connect, and 16 from Shepard. Game number 2, we also end up winning. Game number 3, we also end up winning, and we go on to sweep the Detroit Pistons to win the Los Angeles Lakers a championship, with Luka Doncic winning Finals MVP. Luka was averaging 32 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists on 50, 40, 76 shooting splits. Let's go. And this was an amazing playoff run. I'm not gonna lie, this was a very intense game against Spurs, and thankfully we came out victorious, winning Luka and the Lakers a championship. And now, before I end up this video, let me go ahead and show you guys the player stats. So in the playoffs, we played 20 games. In those 20 games, Luka Doncic was averaging 26 points per game, 21 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 18 Brendan Miller, 16 Reed Shepard, 12 from Josh Hart, and 12 from Okongwu. So for my first NBA 2K27 video, I would say the overall experience has been amazing. The only complaint I have is the player 3-point percentages and the team's not hitting enough 3-pointers. But other than that, everything was amazing, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Now that is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K27 videos, and click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Till next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.